career, he has had the support of the industry or a machine or whatever you want to consider it. You don't think at any point?
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is the industry needed him more than he needed the industry.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. Please like the video and subscribe. Our target is only 1,000 likes. So Drake took his feud with Kendrick Lamar to a new level in a court filing. The Canadian star and his attorneys alleged that Universal Music Group and Spotify unfairly boosted the popularity of Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us. In a pre-action petition, Drake's company Frozen Moments sought to preserve evidence for a potential lawsuit. It read that UMG, which distributes music for both OVO and Kendrick Lamar, launched a campaign to manipulate and saturate the streaming services and airwaves with Not Like Us using bots and pay-to-play arrangements. Drake's team further claimed that Spotify was offered special licensing rates to bolster the song's performance.
Trying to get in business with the label. Companies like Spotify, A, were not only not public companies, B, they were not in business with the labels. They were trying to get in business with the labels so that they can get more of the catalog on their services.
So Ian, I think that's a point that we all are on the same page about. No one is arguing that he had a grassroots level build to his career. No one is saying that. What we're saying, at some point from that point in time to today, he has reaped the benefits of having relationships at UMG and allowing those relationships to push his career. That's all people are saying.
Ian is trying to add very important nuance to that.
But I don't care. But that's not.
Let him do that.
Well, I also can speak, and I wanted to interject what we're saying. So if he wants to add additional detail, that's okay, but you can't refute what we're saying by answering a point that's not being asked. So what we're talking about is, at a certain point in his career, he has had the benefits.
Ian, you can please continue adding the nuance that you were adding, because I think it's very relevant to the points that are being made.
Well, again, I was asking a specific question. So again, Ian, do you believe that at any point in his career, he has had the support of the industry or a machine or whatever you want to consider it? You don't think at any point?
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is the industry needed him more than he needed the industry.
Well, let's keep
this version of the industry did not exist when Drake got started. Drake was the catalyst to start this version of the industry. They waited until he had to step on his leverage. This is why they're doing this for Kendrick Lamar right now. This is why the lawsuit is happening. So y'all are arguing that
who
you benefited from this.
She's right.
Well, he didn't benefit from it because he created it. They created it on Drake's back. That is the point Ian's trying to make right now.
Okay, and again,
hold on. Let me say something.
I want to say something. Do we
real
think that Drake
Ian is leaning on, real quick. Ian is leaning on Spotify, and he has a good point of when Spotify went public.
Correct.
But Spotify is not the only thing named in this petition far as tactics to blow up this music. There are other tactics named, shit with influencers, changing the percentages. There's different steps and standards of practice that are explained in this petition. And I'm saying Drake is able to outline those standards because they've been doing that shit for him. That's how he knows what the fuck it is.
You're only saying that because Joe said that. And I'm sorry.
First of all, I didn't hear Joe say that, Ian, and I do love how you always go back to bigging Joe up, and because I love Joe, I'm going to appreciate it, but I'm just going to let it roll off my back. I'm saying that because it's my opinion. So I agree with Joe, I guess, but Drake benefited from that shit.
Just so you know, Al.
Thank you, Ian. But Drake benefited from that.
I agree with what Elle said. I agree with what Ian is saying. That's all I got. I agree with both of you.
But I do agree that now Drake is... I think that now... Okay, I think the industry needs Drake, but I think the industry made Drake because they knew they were going to need him.
And I have another point here that I think could be helpful contextually. I think Drake is looking at his career as an arc. And I think he's looking at all the businesses that he's helped make public Goliaths. And he's saying, I've had enough. Not only did I bring trillions into Universal Music Group, I helped Universal merge and create an alternative additional revenue stream with Spotify.
Yeah, that's the house that Drake built. At this point.
He helped, and he's also funding whatever other hit artists that are under that label that Lucian.
That's the part where I get a little tricky. I muted the stage. that's just the music business.
Right.
If artist A is keeping the lights on, then yes, artist C, we're running his project with the money we made from artist A. That's been the lay of the land. I'm sorry, I didn't unmute it. Yeah, that's been the lay of the land.
But what I'm saying is, there's a certain point when you don't have to accept terms the way they're presented to you when you are that X factor. And I think he's reached that point where he's like, look, if you quietly can't address... What?
Ian, please finish. Do not stop.
Finish the point, because this is progressing.
Go ahead, Ian.
I think he's reached a point where he sees the kind of intrinsic and halo effect value that he's having on the entire industry as a whole. And he's like, enough is enough. I'm no longer asking you, Lucian and Universal, for some $500 million piggy bank. I want a piece of the house forever.
When I fucking made y'all $28 billion.
Right. Give me a piece of the house so that if I never make another record again, you are going to address the catalog and my impact in the industry. Everything I've done, musically, halo effect on the alternative businesses, the new verticals I've helped create, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And until that happens, I'm going to make a fucking stink.
And what they did in response, and this is why you get a lawsuit, instead of working with him on that request, they decided to use all these tricks to promote a song calling him a pedophile, to malign his fucking character and undercut his leverage in that argument. This is why it's a lawsuit.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question to Ian? So, Ian, you believe that this playbook just was created with Drake? You don't think they've done the same to all of the greats that have made us?
This has never happened.
No. Listen,
ever.
But again, Ian, I've let you land several times, but can somebody else land so you can then answer after the point's made?
I just put my seatbelt on. Go ahead, Lamb.
Okay. So what I'm saying...
You are so funny.
So what I'm saying is, do we believe that the moment that you ruffle feathers at the top, that Drake is the first person to experience that industry then collapsing on him? It's happened to Michael Jackson. What are we talking about? These are the things that have happened to the greats that have spoken out against the machine, quote unquote. I know you guys hate that word, but the machine that they once partnered with. This is nothing new. And I think to your point, if Drake is now saying, okay, this is happening to me, and now I want to flip the industry on its head, I think it is okay for people that are watching and speculating to say, but you're kind of doing it once you've already reaped the full benefit and kind of, drain the system of all of what you could have gotten. Because my thing is, why wait until a certified pedophile line for you to say, okay, it's time for me to be independent after you've just signed this crazy deal and you were completely fine with the benefits until they made you look crazy?
He didn't know.
I understand. Okay.
He didn't know until that. He didn't know. He thought that Lucian's my man, the company's behind me, Kendrick, but he didn't know it was like this.
And
to further counter that point, does that mean just because he previously benefited, if we're acknowledging this has happened to artists in the past, shouldn't now with the information we have make a better decision than audiences have in the past to side with the artist, to back the artist? Because we've seen how this fight goes. They try to kill him. They call him pedophile. They do all the stuff to malign his character, ruin his reputation, ruin his income earning potential, all this other stuff. This is the time for us as the audience to get smarter than we have been in the past.
No. So wait, Rick, let me reply to Rick really quickly. Rick, I agree with everything you just said. I want to add, you don't think that would have applied to Drake as well? I said this on the pod. If he knew the fight that he was really up against, it ain't time to fuck everybody's baby mama.
Absolutely.
It ain't time to do all of this other stuff. You fighting the biggest Goliath in music.
No, that's Rick.
No, I'm not.
We're talking about numbers.
No, Rick, I'm not. You're not listening. I don't care who he fucks, but you got to know who you're fighting. There's no time for this other shit if you're fighting the biggest nigga in music. There's no time for nothing else.
Because I feel like the fight that you describing, it requires somewhat of an underdog positioning, and Drake has made sure not